So this is honestly one of the craziest, funnest, most addictive games I've played in a long time, to the point where I wasn't even going to do a video about it yet. I had a different video lined up, but I just really wanted to talk about it and at least share my experience with you guys and see what your guys' thoughts are, or if you're wanting to check it out. Now, this is a game called Promise Mascot Agency. Yes, it has one of the weirdest names, but that's not the only weird thing about it. It has a story unlike any other that you've probably ever heard of, unless one of the main characters in the story you've heard of is a literal finger, like a human finger that just has its own name, personality, somehow mouth and brain, I'm guessing, so on and so forth though. And believe it or not, it's not the only unique character in the game. In fact, there are many. I was in fact excited to get into finger talk, and I almost couldn't say that sentence. I still almost can't. No, it's just one of many different characters, okay? Luckily, you are not one of those characters. In fact, you are a janitor of sorts. Well, at least that's what you're known as. You see, you are a badass Yakuza who has really turned things around in a lot of places. You're sort of a fixer, if you will. Like, if there's something that's just messed up, they send you in there, you handle it. Well, you're on a mission. One of the biggest missions of your family's, entire history. You're the lead man in a transaction that will really net you something of 12 billion yen of resources, say, or of property, things that you want, let's say. Although it seems that this sort of transaction wasn't something that was kept secret. Somehow, another rival gang knew about it, and they ambushed you. You and your protege are basically held at gunpoint, and it was your choice. Are you going to try to fight your way out of this, or are you going to let them run off with the 12 billion yen? The problem is if you try to fight your way out of it, your protege, the next person to sort of lead the family, is going to be shot in the head. So you do the smart thing, and you just let them run off with the money. Although the head of your family didn't really consider that to be the smart thing. They would have rather had the money. So unfortunately, you're kind of stuck with a punishment of sorts. You do offer your pinky, and you do actually get it chopped off, but that's not enough for them. In fact, they gotta exile you, or kill you. They basically make it look like they murdered you, and have this big display of your funeral in this horrible situation, but really, they've sent you off to a cursed town. In this cursed town, any Yakuza male that shows up there will die from anywhere between 1 day and 100 days. That's not lore, I just made that last part up. I don't know, they don't really give an exact time when you're gonna die, just that this town will kill you. There is a spirit in the town that will kill all ex or current Yakuza males. So up until now, this story does seem somewhat realistic. You have to exert the fact that an actual human thumb was one of the head of the family, but that aside, there is more. You see, they didn't just send you to this town to rot away. No, they want you to earn that money back. And they happen to have a mascot agency that just has not been turning profit since it basically fell apart. So they send you to the headquarters where your one employee is there. Now, this place happens to be a brothel of sorts, and this becomes your new headquarters. Now, luckily you don't have to deal with any of the other transactions that would take place in a brothel. This is just a brothel, and nobody really shows up. None of that really matters. It's just kind of there to be funny. But your new protege is literally named Pinky, a human hinky. And yeah, I mean, they never really mention any of this. Like, it's weird. Like, oh, it's just a pinky. Who is related to the thumb, who is one of the heads of the Yakuza family you would belong to. And again, none of this seems out of the norm in this universe. So it's fine, I guess. And in fact, you start to kind of, I don't know, treat Pinky as just a normal person. But regardless, I really was confused at this point. Not because of what am I supposed to do. I really was thinking, like, what's a mascot agency? Like, is that something I'm not familiar with? Is it like a cultural thing that I'm really unfamiliar with? No, actually, it's just like what you would think. You rent out mascots for certain events, and you make money that way. So the whole dynamic of the game is essentially you with Pinky going around this town, which is not only just cursed because of the whole Yakuza thing, but it's also because, like, it's just completely downtrodden and dilapidated. Nobody has any hope or faith. the whole town is kind of trashed, completely trashed, which is kind of funny since you are the janitor. You know, you're there to clean everything up. And while in this open world area, you have that opportunity because there's plenty of things to clean up. A lot of shrines, in fact, that you literally clean up. But while you're out and everything, your main job is to find mascots. You got to recruit them. This is in itself its own mini game, which is really pretty cool because you kind of negotiate with them. Like, hey, how much money do you want up front? Days off? Like, what are we talking about? What kind of bonuses can we give you to be happy to work for our agency? And typically, yeah, you got a good sense of them earning like 20% of the money that they make right off the bat, but then there's bonuses involved. No, like, it sounds maybe a little too much, but it's actually really easy, a lot of fun. Pinky handles most of the finances anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. Although before you even get to that point, though, you do have to meet with the mayor of this town, who has taken away your business license. Now, you can't hold it since you're Yakuza, but Pinky can. And he's pretty cool about it as long as you give him money because he's corrupt, and his corruptness has pretty much destroyed the entire town. So he doesn't really care about you as long as you're making money off of it, right? And this is a big open world town with a lot of different things to find. Like, this is a collect-a-thon type game where you can find all sorts of items from little thumb decorations for Pinky to, of course, mascots, other people who are willing to help you, which these people are known as heroes. And they come into play during the actual combat of the game. Yes, there is combat of the game. And let me just break it down for you. I tried to do this in a different way, and I literally deleted everything because it just made no sense. So here's what happens. You will send one of your mascots out, and while they're doing this event, doing a job, they might run into an issue. Like, one of the first ones that you run into is when your mascot gets stuck in a door, and the door has 30 HP. Now, it'll put you in a turn-based kind of scenario where you have cards in front of you. And some of these can be facilitated by the hero or of the hero. It doesn't really matter. It just adds another card into your hand, basically. And it has a damage projection that you can do. And there will also be other little actions to note. Like, for instance, when you start this, you only have 2 actions. So you can only play 2 cards. And if you don't knock down the HP with those 2 cards, then the mission has failed. But it doesn't really matter. Like, it hurts a little bit of your bonuses or whatever, but they still get credit for doing the job and everything's fine. It's not as important as you would think, but it does help. Anyway, going back to these cards, they can have certain actions like, hey, 10 damage also adds another action. So you can keep collecting these and playing them. You can reshuffle their cards. There's a lot into it that really plays out like a card game. Again, this is a very brief aspect of it. And in fact, the most part, they go pretty easy on you. For instance, this first battle that you'll run into, you literally just play the first 2 cards and it deals enough quote-unquote damage on the doorway. Your mascot gets through. The event was a big success. Yay. But these little like events and stuff actually become really fun. And that card game aspect also becomes really fun. It's easy enough to jump into, but there is some complexity about it that actually gets really, really in depth, and something that I myself really got caught in this addictive loop of trying to find better cards, buy them, because a lot of them you do have to buy just from other heroes or other stores that you find, vending machines. In fact, my normal loop in this game was essentially to send my mascots out on jobs, and then I would get in my truck with Pinky in the back and drive around the town, just basically either collecting stuff, interacting with things, and essentially one of my biggest things was trying to find more cards, buy better cards, find new mascots, recruit them, and really just keep building up the business. And really, it's a thing of like chaotic beauty at some point. When you have so many mascots and they're all doing jobs, you have to help them, and so you're checking in and out of their jobs itself. You're also driving around the town looking for opportunities, other mascots or heroes or what have you, collectibles, stamps, helping the townspeople rebuild the town. And at the same time, you're also having to deal with the initial issue of your expulsion and getting back into the good graces with your Yakuza family. Also dealing with the mayor. That's a big issue that happens in the game. Oh, and the curse of that town that is literally trying to kill you. All of these things flow, though. It doesn't take away from the managing of the Mascot Agency or any of that, because I think that's like the pure addictive aspect of it. But then these overarching stories keep it from getting boring, and they flow really organically. I think they did a fantastic job in pacing and just the way that this game plays out. The writing, of course, is super edgy at times. There's some stuff in here that I definitely wouldn't recommend to anyone who, let's just say, is underage. There's kind of a lot of adult entertainment involved. And don't get me wrong, like, there's no, corn in it or anything. Like, there's no nudity or anything, but there's just references and stuff like that that probably on the safe side to say you should be an adult to play the game, or at least, teenager. Regardless, I really love this game, and I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like something like I have a fever dream, and that's sort of what it feels like. But at the same time, there's something really here that I think most people would really appreciate about if given the time. Yeah, it'd probably take you a good hour or two before it really clicks, but when it clicks, man, it is good. I really can't stop singing the praises of this game. And just in case anyone is curious, no, I am not being paid or was asked to review the game. This was just one of those games that was on sale at the PlayStation Store, and it came out recently. Looking for something to review is sort of where I was at, that I didn't want to spend a whole ton of money into, and so I just thought, like, hey, I'll take a flyer on this one, and it ended up being like a really, really good game. I paid like $24.99 for it, so it wasn't crazy. I actually paid less for it because it was on sale. It regularly sells for $24.99. I have no idea if this is available for anything other than Steam or PlayStation, but yeah, something that you should definitely check out if you have the ability to. I personally would rate this game like a 9.5 out of 10. I just really had a ton of fun with it. And you know what? I'm going to leave a little bit of room for the fact that maybe this game just hit right for me. And maybe I'm wrong. But for me, that was my experience. Let me know what your thoughts are. Is this a game you've heard of? Is this a game you're interested in? Have you played it before? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know down in that comment section below. If you guys celebrate it, have a happy Easter. I love y'all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.